Okay po, good morning, grade 10. So for today, we will have lesson number 8, and that is about the angles formed by secants and tangents intersecting outside the circle. So for this lesson first, let us define those two words. So we have here secants and tangents. So first, what is a secant? Okay, that is correct. A secant is a line that intersects the circle twice. So, siya daw yung line na dumaan sa circle ng dalawang beses. Or nag-meet sila ni circle ng dalawang beses. Now, ano naman yung tangent? Ano naman kapag sinabi nating tangent? So, di ba? Kung si secant ay dalawang beses, si tangent, it is a line which intersects the circle at exactly one point. And that point of intersection is called the point of tangency. Now, for today's lesson po, pag-uusapan naman natin is the measure ng angle na nabuo kapag nag-intersect either a secant or a tangent or even two tangents outside the circle. So, I want you to see the next image po. So, ito yung illustration po ng theorem natin ngayon. Okay po. So, tingnan natin yung dalawang image. So, first po, dito muna tayo sa nasa left. So, ano yung dalawang parts ng circle na involved? Diba? We have this red line in here. Ito po, kung nakikita nyo, itong red na to na nasa kaliwa nyo, ha, that is a secant because it intersects the circle at exactly 2 points. Now, diba? Itong red line na to, nag-intersect siya dito sa part ng circle na to at dito rin sa part na to. And this one, yung kulay blue naman, it is a tangent line kasi dito lang sila nag-intersect doon sa violet na yon. Now, ang theorem na pinag-uusapan niya natin ngayon, di ba, it is yung angle daw na nabubuo kapag merong isang secant at isang tangent na nag-intersect sa labas ng circle or yung nasa kabila, ano naman to? So, these are two tangent lines intersecting outside the circle. So, ang pag-uusapan din natin dito is yung measure ng angle sa labas. So, again, ito nauuna na nasa left side nyo na image ay may isang secant at isang tangent na nag-intersect. Ito namang nasa right side ay there are two tangent na nag-intersect sa labas ng circle. Now, paano ba makukuha yung measure nila? So for that, we have theorem number 7. And theorem number 7 states that if a secant and a tangent or two tangents intersect in the exterior, again, exterior of the circle, then the measure of the angle formed is 1/2 the difference of the intercepted arcs. So katulad lang po ni theorem number 6. Basta yung line ay nag-intersect outside the circle, then the measure of the angle is 1/2 the difference of the two intercepted arcs. So pwede pa rin natin gamitin yung the measure of the angle in the exterior is equal to 1/2 the measure of the larger arc minus the measure of the smaller arc. Okay po. So ano ba yung mga intercepted arc na tinutukoy nun? So let's see the examples. So I have here a circle, then ano yung dalawang nag-intersect dito? So yung red line is a secant, yung blue line is a tangent, and the intersection ng dalawa ay nandito sa labas. Nasa exterior ng circle. So, ano ang gagawin natin? Di ba? Sabi ko, di ba, pwede pa rin gamitin yung formula dati. Yung sa theorem number 6, ano yun? Di ba? The measure of the angle in the exterior of the circle is equal to 1/2 the measure of the larger arc minus the measure of the smaller arc. O, ito yung angle na hinahanap natin. Na kung yun yung angle na yun ang hinahanap natin, ano yung dalawang intercepted arc niya? So we have this arc and ito yung mas malaki na arc. So obviously, ito yung sa smaller at ito yung larger arc. So for us to get the measure of this angle, for example, kasi angle na to ay x. So for us to get the measure of that angle, ano yung gagawin natin? Diba? Gamitin yung formula. Exterior, measure of the angle in the exterior. So x, so write x equals 1/2 of the measure ng larger arc. Ano yung larger arc? Anong measure niya? Diba that is 165 degrees. So sulat 165 degrees minus ano yung measure ng smaller arc? Diba that is 75 degrees. So again, following the PEMDAS rule, we have 165 degrees minus 75 degrees. And that is, again, 165 degrees minus 75 degrees is equal to 90 degrees. And 1/2 of 90 degrees is equal to 90 divided by 2, so that is 45 degrees. So therefore, the measure of this angle na denoted by x is 45 degrees. Katulad lang po nung sa theorem number 6. Okay po? So let's move on with the next example. Ano naman po yung napapansin with this illustration? Okay, that is correct. Isa lang po yung binigay sa atin na measure ng arc. Ito lang po yung 292 degrees. So anong gagawin natin ngayon? But before that, let us analyze first the illustration. So, anong part ba ng circle yung involved? Ano ba yung dalawang part ng circle na nag-intersect in the exterior of the circle? Okay, that is correct. These are two tangent lines intersecting in the exterior of the circle. So if there are two tangent lines intersecting in the exterior of the circle, so that is theorem number 7. Diba? Yung measure ng angle outside na nabuo nila is 1/2 the difference of the two intercepted arcs. Sabi sir, two intercepted arcs. Eh bakit isa lang yung binigay sa amin? Okay po. Take note grade 10 na ito na yung arcs na intercept nitong angle na to ay dalawa. We have yung unang given sa atin, itong malaking arc, yung nasa labas, it measures 292 degrees. Then, ano pa yung isang intercepted arc niya? Diba itong nasa loob? O, kung titingnan nyo, diba, parang buong circle na yung pinag-uusapan natin. So, ano yung gagawin natin para makuha yung measure ng intercepted arc na isa pa? Kung isang buong bilog, ano ulit ang measure niya? Diba 360 degrees. Kung 360 degrees yung isang buong bilog, may 292 ka na dito. Ano yung gagawin mo para makuha yung natitira? So, ima-minus po. So, 360 degrees minus 292 degrees. So, what is the answer? So, again po, 360 degrees minus 292 degrees is equal to 68 degrees. So, therefore, yung isang arc ay 68 degrees. So, kompleto na natin yung dalawa. Pwede na natin makuha yung measure ng angle na dito sa labas. So again, denoted siya by x. Yung formula ulit tayo, the measure of the angle in the exterior of the circle is equal to what? 1/2 the difference of the larger arc minus the measure of the smaller arc. So substitute natin. Kunwari, x na lang lahat yung angle. So x is equal to 1/2 of ano yung measure ng mas malaking arc? So obviously that is 292 degrees minus ano yung measure ng smaller arc? Smaller arc is 68 degrees equals 1/2 of what we have 292 minus 68 degrees, and that is 224 degrees. So next, 224 degrees times 1/2 is equal to 112 degrees. So therefore, the measure of the angle formed by these two tangents intersecting outside the circle is equal to 112 degrees. Okay po? So next example po tayo. Okay, so ano po yung napapansin with this last example? Okay po, that is correct. Ang binigay lang po sa atin is the measure of the angle outside, and that is equal to 45 degrees. The measure of the angle is 45 degrees. Now, for example po, ang kailangan nating hanapin dito is this one. Ito si x. Ano po yung x na yan? It denotes what? O, diba, ano yung sabi ko sa inyo, kapag mas malapit doon sa intersection, siya si measure ng smaller arc. So, given sa atin, the measure ng smaller arc. So, given po sa atin, again, si smaller arc ay x. So, kailangan din natin si larger arc, di ba? Paano din makukuha si larger arc? Ano yung gagawin natin para makuha si larger arc? O, di ba? Kunwari, kung may measure tayo dito, kunwari, kung may number dyan, kung 5 degrees, kunwari si smaller arc, ano yung gagawin natin kay 5 degrees para makuha si larger arc? Di ba, ima-minus sa 360 degrees. So, ganun din dito. Since x yung nakalagay na value, that means, para makuha si larger arc, denoted din siya ng 360 degrees minus yung x. Di ba? Pag minus natin si x kay 360 degrees, that is the measure of the larger arc. So, yan po yung gagawin natin. Diyan tayo magsisimula. Now, simulan natin doon sa formula. Yung formula natin, di ba? We have the measure of the angle in the exterior is equal to 1/2 of the measure ng larger arc minus the measure of the smaller arc. So, substitute natin, di ba? We have 45 degrees at yung measure ng angle is equal to 1/2 of ano yung larger arc? Di ba we have 360 degrees minus x. Minus, saan galing sir yung minus na yan? Yun po yung operation natin. Smaller arc is x. So po, simplify natin. Ano yung pwedeng masimplify sa loob ng parentheses? So we have negative x minus x. That is negative 2x. Then, ano yung kailangan para mawala si 1/2? Kasi wala na tayong pwedeng ibang gawin dyan, kundi alisin lang si 1/2. So, yung gagawin natin para mawala si 1/2. Okay po, sa katulad kay theorem number 6, kailangan lang po natin i-multiply doon sa denominator na 2. So, we have 45 degrees times 2 is 90 degrees equals 1/2 times 2, diba? 1/2 times 2, 2/1 siya, di ba? 1 times 2 is 2. 2 times 1, 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. So, siya ay magiging 1. So, mawawala na sila. So, matitira na lang ay 360 degrees minus 2x. Kailangan maging x lang yung dito sa side na to, sa kabila. So, si 360 degrees, ililipat sa kabila. So, magiging 90 degrees minus 360 degrees is equal to negative 2x. And 90 minus 360 degrees is negative 270 degrees equals negative 2x. So, ano gagawin natin? Divide by negative 2. Kasi yun yung katabi ni x. So, cancel this out. So, we have x is equal to negative 270 degrees divided by negative 2. Negative divided by negative is positive 270 divided by 2 is 135 degrees. So therefore, the smaller arc measures 135 degrees. Kung si smaller arc ay 135 degrees, ano ang measure ng larger arc na nasa labas? So 360 minus 135 degrees will give us the measure of the larger arc, and that is equal to 225 degrees. Okay po. So again, graded, that is theorem number 7. That is about the measure of the angles formed by a secant and a tangent, or two tangents intersecting in the exterior of the circle. So again, yung measure daw nila is equal to 1/2 the difference of the two intercepted arcs. Okay po? So that's all for today, graded po. Thank you po.